Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Champagne Wives podcast. I'm your host, Kelly.
And I'm your co-host, Nicole. Hey, Kels.
Hi.
How are you, babe?
I'm good. I'm going to just say I'm good for the listeners.
Well, you look good.
Thank you.
Tan lines popping.
Yes. Popping too much.
Not
actually.
Too much. Why?
Because so for spring break, so we took a break, like a week off. Yeah. For spring break, we just had spring break here in Houston, and we took the kids to Mexico. And I've been to Mexico like several times, but this time the sun was different.
Yeah.
It was really different. So I never get burnt. Like I don't have a problem with like being out in the sun. I actually love being out in the sun because I love my tan lines after it. But for some reason, I don't know. I don't know if it was the amount of time we were out. I don't know if the sun was different or what, the air. I don't know, but I got burned. And so I got burned on my face. Like I was telling you, Nicole, my lips actually burned. I never had my lips burned before.
This was a funny story.
But my lips actually got burned. And so they were like puffy and red and they were swollen. And so, but they were so cute. And I was, Bishop, I need to go get an injection in the lips.
Can we keep it like?
Can we keep these lips? Like I never ever thought about like plumping up my lips.
That's funny.
But oh my God, those sunburned lips were chef's kiss. So I enjoy them. But yeah, burns on my nose, my shoulders, my chest, my back. So everywhere is peeling right now.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
That's the downside, I suppose. I've never gotten burnt. I mean, I've never gotten sunburn. I don't know.
Because you know what? You prepare.
I
Like
do.
you have on your hat.
I
You
do.
know exactly how much time you're going to be in the sun and how much time you're going to be in the shade. So for like again, I have never had an issue with the sun before. And but even my kids got sunburned.
Yeah.
I call it sun kisses for them because they were just so upset when they came back to the US and like their skin was just again sore and peeling and they were just like, what is going on? But yeah, we all,
So the
sun beat us up.
Sun beat y'all up.
Beat our
but
ass.
Hopefully y'all had a nice time.
We had a great time. Yeah, it was a last minute trip with the kids. And so they enjoyed, anything for the babies.
Anything.
Yes.
For the babies. Well, cool. The sun was not that bad when I was in Mexico. To me, it wasn't even as warm as I wanted it to be, but I went in February. And there's a huge difference when you're in
just
those types of
March
climates, right? But a month difference.
Yeah.
But it could, listen, the difference between March and April here is
That's true.
huge. So, okay, cool. Yeah, I am during spring break. My kids were with my ex, so they were with him the whole time. And my man, and I decided that we were going to go to Jamaica to celebrate his birthday. So we did that.
Nice.
And doubled down on the tan lines that I had.
Gotta love a back-to-back tropical vacation.
I love it. And now I need to sit my black ass down because who does that?
You.
True.
And do.
And do.
Don't
and
feel
will.
bad about that.
But going to take a little bit of a break, right? It's okay. We could take a break and we'll probably pick the travel back up later on. All right. Well, here and there, neither here nor there, but we were surfing the nets.
We were surfing the nets. So just full transparency, like we are struggling to get back on the wagon.
We are.
It's like, I don't know if it's still like a vacation mode that we're in, or is it because we have like a lot of competing priorities?
Yeah.
And also not just with outside priorities in life, but like competing priorities with CWP. So we're making an appearance this weekend at R&B in the Park in Houston.
Yay.
It's sold out.
It's sold
so
out.
Never mind.
We would tell you to get your tickets.
We would tell you to get your tickets, but actually there are no tickets. But if you have tickets, come through. So we've been kind of gearing up for that, and so I think the topics for the episode have kind of fallen a little bit by the wayside. But we're gonna push through.
We shifted, but we're agile and nimble.
We are. And we're going to get through this episode.
We will.
And it's going to be a good one.
And y'all are going to come through with us. So the good sis was surfing the nets and found a topic that we want to discuss with you guys. And you let us know in the comments, as you normally do, how you feel about it. But these are just some popular, unpopular opinions as it relates to relationships. And so we're going to run through a couple that kind of jumped out and stood out to us, weigh in on them, And like I said, y'all do the same like you normally do in our comments.
Okay. So you want me to kick us off?
Please.
Okay. This is the one that stands out to me the most. So you can have more than one soulmate and they do not have to be romantic. I believe that. Like, I value my friendships. I'm a person who like value like my girlfriend relationships. Sometimes more over like my romantic relationships. And so like I feel like seriously, you can have soulmates that are not of like a love interest. Like you can have a platonic soulmate. And that be just like totally fine. And you could be in a platonic relationship with somebody as well, take it a step forward, and that not necessarily be your soulmate. So you could have like a soulmate with a girlfriend or a best friend and not necessarily have a soulmate in your romantic partner. So I do believe that like you don't have to just be in a relationship to have a soulmate, and there can be more than just one soulmate throughout your entire life. I think soulmate is such a strong bond.
It is a strong bond, and maybe I'm not understanding it because I think that, you know, the soul changes, the soul shifts as you experience things in life. My soul 10 years ago and my soul today are different souls.
Yeah, same.
And so I'm wondering if it's a soulmate by definition, in theory, you're coming along for the journey and the ride, right?
Yeah, I like to define that actually.
We love a good definition.
I love a good definition. Keep talking while I look it up.
So yeah, I just I think soulmate, it might not last a lifetime, really, is I think the point that I'm trying to make, that a soulmate might actually be a soulmate for a season, and that season may be a long period of time, or it could be a soulmate for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Right. And I think as your
souls
are kind of moving in this life in a parallel way, you guys stay connected. But sometimes I feel like there are people that I've maybe thought were soulmates that our souls have gone in two different directions.
Really? Yeah. Really? Okay, so the definition of a soulmate is a romantic or platonic partner with the implication of an exclusive, lifelong bond. It commonly holds the connotation of being the strongest bond with another person that one can achieve. And it's a person with whom one has a feeling of deep or natural affinity.
Okay.
So this may include similarity, love, comfort, etc.
Yeah.
An affinity. Affinity
is that's a heavy concept, child. Like,
it is a heavy concept.
Heavy. Because
you have to be so in tune with somebody. And like, how do you, I just don't know, child.
There's a lot of assumptions and things that need to line up in order for someone to truly be your soulmate.
But exactly. There has to be
things, like no condition.
And like, how could you even find this person? Like with all of the people in the world.
That's why I wonder if you can actually have a relationship, like a romantic soulmate versus a platonic soulmate.
Yeah. Because typically if you're platonic, you gravitate towards people that like are like-minded, who, I don't know, show support, give you comfort, etc.
Fill your soul in the tangible and or intangible ways that have nothing to do with
romance. Yeah, exactly. And then when you're in a relationship or seeking a relationship, a lot of times it's just not about that, right? It's like
there's other motivations.
There's other motivations. Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dealing with a narcissist.
Well, there's other motivations. Let me ask you this. Do you think that men and women can be friends and that there could, without any romantic undertones, and can a woman have a male soulmate but it still be platonic? Do you think that that's truly possible?
Yeah.
You do?
I do. Platonic.
See, I don't think that's possible.
Why?
I don't think men and women can really be friends without one of them catching feelings.
You think so?
Show me.
I mean,
not personally, but
I know.
I just don't think that it's possible for
You
men
don't
and
think?
women.
You think nature is gonna take over?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't have an example.
I don't have that answer. Well, maybe if like you're not attracted physically to the other person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like a work buddy, like somebody you just meet at work you're not necessarily attracted to,
Mm-hmm.
but like you guys are able to connect and speak to, and like this person just truly understands you, right? And provides you with those elements, right? In your time of need or not. So I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
I mean, I would need an example. I personally have not experienced that.
Yeah.
Where I've just had a male friend who doesn't eventually.
I mean, for a soulmate. Oh, really? That hasn't been like attracted to you? Oh, really?
And I don't listen. I say that in the most humble way possible. Like,
sure.
I mean it. But I just something always kind of goes awry. And I don't know if it sits with me or if it just sits with the fact that, like, you know,
well, they had ulterior motives, like,
right, and maybe it wasn't a friendship to begin with.
It wasn't a friendship. Like, again, their motives probably coming into it.
It's possible.
Yeah, I was like, I'll start on this route, but we're gonna finish.
We ain't gonna end this. But no,
we're finishing with a home run.
No, sir, we are not. Okay,
but I have male friends. I have male best friends, and. I mean, they're not soulmates by any stretch of the imagination.
Yes.
But they're friends, and you're able to maintain a pretty platonic relationship. Yeah, it's really cool.
And I think that that's where it gets messy, especially as like you move on and you get into a relationship. That's like the hardest thing, especially like if you have a good friend where maybe it's not a soulmate, maybe it is, but you come into a relationship with this relationship intact, this friendship intact.
Yeah.
And now you got to explain to your partner who this man, right? Yeah. Who this man is.
Who this woman.
Or who this woman, right? And you got to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take your word for it. So but nothing has happened between the two of you.
Ever?
There's never been interest. Even on a late night, early morning, had cocktails.
Got a little, yeah. So what if it did, but like a really long time ago?
It's a
no.
I'm sorry, the way I hit the mic. It's a no.
No.
If first of all, if you know what this woman's body looks like,
no.
No. Because first of all, I'm not trusting her, and I'm not trusting you when it comes to her.
You're territorial.
I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, you are.
You would be okay with this if you know that, like. Somebody...
I'm asking the questions here. So, unpopular opinion.
I would have a problem.
You would not allow your man to have girlfriends.
Oh, it's not that I wouldn't allow him to have girlfriends. You can have girlfriends, but if you have, done the Cupid shuffle horizontally with her,
it's a no.
It's a hard no.
Okay, well. There we go.
I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, then, child. Because there are people that I've done that with that are
territorial,
but like that they're not good friends, but that like would be good friends on the other side of whatever it was that we did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people that I've been involved with. Like there are some people that I could stay in a platonic relationship with and not want to do what we've done again, but out of respect for the relationship that I'm in, we just don't do that. Like there's no contact, and I'm good with that. But that's my position. But if you were to come to me and if my partner were to come to me and say, hey, this is somebody that I smashed 15, 20 years ago. Yeah.
We became friends after that. You're like, no.
You have to really work hard to make me feel comfortable about that.
I know, me too. I guess I'm talking shit.
Like, but... She knows what your lips feel like.
Yeah.
You know what she feels like.
Yeah. I think there would have to just be boundaries in place. Like, okay, if you guys are friends, then, but like, you can't travel together.
The boundary is that you're not friends.
We move on.
I'm your friend.
Right. I'm your friend, bitch. You don't need no friends.
Right. That's just me. I understand that, like, I'm on my journey of becoming far more just... understanding on that, but like I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable with that because there's a lot of shady people out here.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that either. So
I don't know what you're
I'm on the same page with you, sis.
Okay. This one is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Second chances. Someone poops the bed in the relationship or even a friendship, right? Are you a one and done, or are you a let me give you grace?
I've been the person to say, let me give you grace.
Okay.
And I'm trying to, because I've struggled with boundaries. Oh. That's no secret. Okay. And so I am trying to, it just depends. So there's levels, right? So if it's like a really good friend or somebody close to me in my life, I will definitely give second chances, sometimes even third or fourth chances.
Maybe even 6.
Girl. Bitch, so many chances till I'm out of chances.
Guilty.
But yeah, I think that now yes, if a person is close to me, yes. If the person is not that close to me, then no, absolutely not. But yeah, I have just been, so a couple of things. So here's one. So again, struggling with boundaries, right? And then 2, also, for the people that are close to me, again, and I've talked about it on the episode, like when something happens, not just harping on like the situation that happened and seeing it just totally from a negative lens, right? I try to look at the relationship, not the situation, but the relationship in totality and weigh the pros and the cons, right? And if I'm like, okay, you know what, this person fucked up or whatever the case may be, but they've been here for me, you know, XYZ 1,000 times, then, you know, fine. People are human, right? Just giving people that grace to know that like people fuck up and me shit, I fuck up, you know? But also now being able to, that helps me because I'm able to communicate better about, you know, the behavior that, you know, hurt me or impacted me, and to be able to articulate that so that like we come to an understanding so it doesn't continue to happen. So being able to speak up for myself, you know, helps me be able to like give grace and, you know, essentially second and third chances. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. I would say historically I have not been a second chance kind of person. I've just been like, and I get that from my mom because my mom is like, if she can't be bothered, she can't
be bothered.
She cannot be bothered. I mean, the way my mom has
baby.
we talked about
I don't want to be on her bad side.
No, me either, child.
I know.
That's why, you know, we talked about this, I think when Adam was here. No, when Jay was here, we talked about you know, just how my mom doesn't have a relationship with her side of the family. And a lot of that has to do with, you know, she got crossed. Something happened and she got pissed off about it. And she knew that she had the ability to remove herself from the situation. And my instincts when I was younger was like, take your shit and go home. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm just going to take my stuff and I'm going to go.
I told you that one time.
Stop it.
Why is this bringing a flashback to me? Why is this a flashback?
The exact conversation was, I feel like you're taking your toys and you're just going
you're picking up your ball and you're leaving the court.
That's exactly what you said. Yes. So we are still a work in progress. So thank you for giving me grace. But yeah, no, that is learned behavior. Absolutely. But I'm working incredibly hard to unlearn that behavior and to take more of just a seek to understand approach when it comes to how my friends, how my partners are reacting to something that I've done, doing a better job of just like taking accountability for my actions, being a little bit more self-reflective and thinking before I act. I got a lot of fire sign in me. And so I work oftentimes off of impulse, which is also like instinct and gut. And that like can serve you well in a lot of situations, but not in every situation, especially when you're dealing with friends and relationships that you value. So that has historically been my approach, to be like, me don't want this botheration. But working to move through that, especially with the friendships and the relationships that I value and care about.
Yeah, you are. And that's the flip side of it too. Like, yeah, you are.
Yeah,
like
I'm trying.
You're great.
I try.
At the self-awareness and self-reflection. I just love that and the growth.
Thank you.
So for the both of us, cheers to that. Cheers.
You know, we on this growth train. Choo bitch.
Committed. Committed.
All right.
Okay.
What else did you have?
Okay, so let's see. Oh, you don't have to forgive or forget to move on.
Oh.
So true. I was having this conversation with someone a few weeks ago, and, you know, they were going through a situation, a breakup, and, you know, they just kept saying, but I want closure. I want closure. I need closure. And I'm just like, but no, you don't. Like, give yourself closure. Like, a lot of times people get caught up on like the last conversation to close out a relationship. And I just feel like a lot of times you need to, you know, not worry about that and give yourself that closure, right? Because people's actions will give you the closure that you need, right? And sometimes that speaks louder, like the silence, and the action speaks louder than the actual conversation to say, you know, hey, this is not working for me. Like, I think it's best that we move on. And so, and you don't have to forget. Like, you don't have to forget. Like, keep in mind what this person has done to you. And I know it's hard because our brain is always like to default to the good. And like, we push a lot of the times, especially in situations where like we really love the person and want to be with the person, we tend to forget about the bad. But you have to continue to remind yourself, especially if the situation is not like conducive for you. So I don't recommend like forgetting what someone has done to you. I mean, even if you have to like write that shit down to get yourself out of like a bad situation, you know, like do that. But the forgiveness piece, I just think that like you give that to yourself. Like, you don't have to get forgiveness to forgive, and you don't even have to fucking forgive. No. Like, you can just, you know, forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be in that situation and move on, child. Like, move on.
Closure is I had a friend who was like, I need closure. I need to have this conversation. Da, 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 da. I'm like, for him to play you again? For him to chump you? Like, child dignity. Like, put it in your back pocket and run off while you got it. And then I even just thinking about some of the things that like I, like in my dating world, right? That like I went through. I was dealing with this. Let me just be nice. I was dealing with a person who just did some wild ass shit. And I had to let this person know that that shit was wild and there's no more conversation. There's no more interaction. There's no more sending me things that you think I'd be interested on Instagram for. And his response was like, can we talk about this? No, there's nothing to talk about. I have the closure that I need. I've made the decision that I've made, and I can feel very comfortable standing 35 toes down on the decision that I've made to not deal with you anymore. And that's all the closure that I need. Because
and then that's all the closure that he needs as well, because he was trying to get the closure.
He was trying to get the closure.
Right.
And I'm not giving you the satisfaction to get the closure on me when I've already got the closure.
Exactly.
So that's your thing to
when
deal
you're
with
trying
for
to
the
get
rest of your
closure,
life.
think about that. Think about what she said. When you're trying to get your closure from someone, a man, a relationship, think about the other person's perspective who is not giving you that closure. Because that's a very good point in a perspective. They've gotten the closure, child. They are not trying to deal with you. They've made it up already in their minds, you know, the position that you are going to be put in their lives, and they have moved on, and they don't owe you that conversation.
Right. So there was no chit nor chat.
No chat. That was it. I said what I said,
what Needy said,
and there was nothing else to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think and even just before that, like there were situations that happened that I shouldn't have been forgiving about that I think I was, but
you gave chances.
I gave chances.
Yeah, you gave chances.
I gave chances.
You did.
I did. And I'm glad that I did.
Yeah.
Because I learned a lot about myself in that, and the importance, as you talked about, right, of establishing and setting and standing firm in your boundaries. And that was one of those relationships, if you will, that like at the end of the day, like you learn more about yourself than you learn about the other person.
Yeah.
So glad that's over and we've moved on. But yeah, no, like, listen, you can forgive, but I think the greatest forgiveness is the forgiveness you give to yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
For allowing yourself to deal with the shenanigans.
Yes. Yes.
If they shenanigan once, they're going to shenanigan
again. Trust me. Trust me.
Okay. That was a good one. Ooh, this one's juicy. Revenge can help you heal.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Remember we had a conversation one time and I was telling you about something that like a friend did that like rubbed me the wrong way. And I was just like, don't worry, I'm gonna get her ass back. Oh. And you were like, are you though? And I'm like, oh yeah. I said, it may not be anything grandiose, but it's gonna be like a subtle payback. Like,
did the chickens come to roost?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it don't have to be anything like major. Like it could be just something very small for my own self, right? You know, like for my own healing. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Like sometimes, you know, revenge is something that will allow you to move on and like heal from the situation, as you know, as big or as small as you want to get that lick back. It's just something that sometimes just helps you to heal, in my opinion. Yeah. You're looking at me like, bitch, what? I've never done that to you. Don't be scared.
Wait, I'm looking at you, but I'm like,
don't be scared.
Carry the one.
Don't be scared. I'm not. But sometimes, like, when somebody's playing in your face, it's just like, you cannot play in my face. Right. Like, you just, no, like, absolutely not. Like, I cannot, I don't know, like, I cannot, I don't want to say tolerate, but sometimes the level of like, I guess the level of the way that a person disrespects you, it makes you feel, I guess, it's also what, like a determinant of like what warrants like some sort of like get back or payback. But yeah, girl, I mean, it has helped me. Don't be scared though. I haven't picked you right.
Okay. Well, I feel like I know that to be true. And I know we've had some situations, not you and I, but just that we've experienced where you've been like, you know, like it'll come back to that person. So
yeah.
Okay. I'm just glad it's not me, child.
No, I mean, and sometimes the universe is gonna do its thing too, child. Like
it always does.
Yeah. So sometimes the universe
does.
Yeah, but I'm not above getting my lick back. Now, I'm not gonna go out of my way to get my lick back, but sometimes the universe provides an opportunity for me to get my lick back, and I'm like, okay, thank you, universe.
Thank you, universe.
Sometimes it does it itself, and sometimes it provides the opportunity for me. Okay. So, but yeah, child.
Okay.
Getting my lick back.
Revenge.
Nothing wrong with you getting
heal.
Nothing wrong with that.
For me, revenge. I'm just not like a vengeful. I'm not a vengeful person, just in general. But
you gotta say it like that.
No. But I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that about you.
Oh, okay.
But like, revenge doesn't. I don't know. Or lickbacks just like they just don't resonate with me. But I always say, look, the universe is gonna do what it does.
Yeah.
Like I do believe.
You do say that.
I'd be like, listen.
You let the universe do your bids.
I do. And the universe never disappoints.
Yes, the universe does your bidding for you.
The universe never disappoints when it comes to doing my dirty work.
Your dirty work, yes.
So I let it do what
you let it do what it does. Yeah. No, I have to sometimes control my lickbacks, but I get it. I get what you're saying because the universe does. It does come through a lot of times.
And that's why it's important just in general to do right by people.
Yeah.
Because listen, I don't want to be on that short list.
Mm.
The universe's short list of it's time for Nicole to get a lick back.
It's time for
because I don't think the universe ever really plays fair. So it's not like for like.
And then you just never know. Like everything could be going great, and then all of a sudden, Joe.
Yep.
You're like, damn, what happened? I was on cloud 9, and now like I'm in the valley.
How'd we get here?
Yeah, this fast, right? What happened?
Damn. Okay. There was one more on the list that I had.
Which one?
If he wanted to, he would is BS.
I don't think so.
That saying is true.
Yes, we always say that. Like, I don't subscribe to. I feel like. I think I saw a video of someone saying that if it is not true because it could be that he wants to, but he just does not know how to. But that's not hold people's hands, you know, like, okay, yeah, he wants to communicate, but he doesn't know how because he hasn't grown up like communicating with his family. Okay, well, everybody has the opportunity to learn and grow. And so if he or she wanted to grow in that area to be there for you in that way, then he or she would. You know, I mean, I know it's not black and white, but I feel like at the end of the day, you know, if it's like if you want these shoes, a pair of shoes, what are you gonna do to get the shoes? You're gonna work. Like, you're gonna make it happen. You know, like if you want something for yourself, you will do it. You will make it happen. And I think the same for that saying, if he wanted to, he absolutely would. Even if he's trying to love you to the best of his ability. You know, we talk about this all the time. Like, you know, we all have our different love languages and you know, have our own ways in which we want to be shown love. And, you know, again, sometimes it's not enough to show love in the way in which you are accustomed to. But at that point, like, you have a choice. You continue to hit a ball, or you make the necessary adjustments, right? So yeah, I totally, I don't think it's BS. I think it's, if he wanted to, he would. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Okay.
How about you?
I mean, I'm living it. So
yeah. Oh, heck, bitch. Play with me. Girl, don't play with me.
I love it here. No, I mean, I'm living it. I have been around enough in this dating experience. I've been around enough people to know that, like, when I've seen people kind of fall short and I've questioned it, at the end of the day, it's really just boiled down to he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
You know?
It's that simple.
He doesn't want to.
We don't have to overanalyze that
We
shit.
don't. And that's the thing, ladies. We don't have to overanalyze this. We don't need to take this to a psychic, take this to the Lord, bring it to our therapist. We don't need to
talk about it through and through with your friends.
At the end of the day, a man that wants to will. And I know that might be harsh. I know that might be difficult to receive. It is not about you. And that's the thing. It's not about you. 9 times out of 10, it's more about them.
Yeah.
Right? And what they're not able to do. And that's okay. If they can't do it for you, take a step back and figure out what your next move is.
Yeah.
It's okay. It will be hard. It will hurt. There'll be some difficult decisions that need to be made and difficult conversations that you need to have with that person. And more importantly, conversations that you need to have with yourself. But for you to establish that boundary, to not allow yourself to be treated in a way that is below the standard that you know that you've set for yourself and that you need from a partner, and to stand 35 toes down on that and to walk away is so empowering.
Mm-hmm.
So empowering versus having regret. Next day regret about did I do too much? Did I allow myself to take verbal insults or physical insults? Hopefully it's not to that extent that I shouldn't have taken, right? Like to walk away knowing that like you chose yourself and you chose your standards and you established a boundary and stuck to that.
Stuck to that.
It's so empowering and freeing and liberating.
Yeah.
Hard as fuck.
Hard as
fuck.
Yeah.
But freeing and liberating.
It's definitely liberating. And it's brave. I mean, it really is. And, you know, a lot of times we do make excuses, right? For the sake of like, I don't know, peace or just really wanting to be in that situation where we do, you know, accept treatment that is below the standard that we have for ourselves and, you know, make those excuses to kind of just keep everything going. But that should weigh you down. Like, take it from me. Like, the behaviors never stop, or your desires to be loved or treated a certain way does not go away, no matter how many excuses that you make for the person that you're with.
They only get louder.
They only get louder. Absolutely. They only get louder. And so that would just be my piece of advice. Like, if nothing changes, if you continue to allow yourself to make excuses or, you know, not hold your partner accountable for the way they treat you. I mean, and they may be doing the best that they can. And the best just may not be good enough for you. And that's fine. But, you know, those desires that you have will continue to get louder. Like, they won't just go away.
I agree. And don't allow anybody to ever make you feel guilty for having self-worth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because those standards, like you said, may not, like, they're there. And that desire to want to be treated a certain way and revered a certain way won't go away. And you might have people in your life who say, you know what, like,
you're asking for too
much. Like, you're not grateful. Like, there's a lot of stuff, right? When everything else might be nice around you, or copacetic around you, but you still feel empty. There are people in this world who will make you feel bad for not being happy in what might be an ideal situation for you or for them.
Or from the outside looking in.
For them, from the outside looking in. Exactly. But it's not right for you.
For you.
And if you feel unsettled, if you feel like, this is nice, but. And if you have a but, and it's not an and, but if you have a but, take pause.
Yeah, I agree.
Take pause.
Period.
Full stop. Next one.
Nothing else to add. I don't think that's it. We won't get to a piece unless you have another one that you're just burning.
Let's see if there was one more on this list that just made me excited. Maybe this one. Us girls need to stick together. I don't know. And the reason why I say that is because I know how much you value the relationship.
Yeah.
Like with your girlfriends.
But I imagine that this would just be girls in general. And I would say, like, being a girl's girl, I say yes. Like, I think that us girls should stick together.
I think us girls should stick together, but not all girls can stick together. So it's important to find the girls that stick.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that I think there should be like a girl code that people with basic respect that we should have for one another.
I agree.
I mean, it doesn't happen, obviously, but I think it should. I think there should be some type of unwritten rule for women that we stick together. But
we got enough work,
especially Black women, but
especially
it does not happen.
No,
all the time. So
okay, well, I think we're getting there. I don't.
You think so?
I'm encouraged.
I don't know, girl. This new generation, I cannot.
I'm encouraged.
I'm not encouraged. Like, I hope so. I just see a lot. Like, there's so many glorifications of just like fuck behavior online. It's crazy. You know, competitiveness, like mistresses. Like, there's this whole thing
that was disgusting.
About like, being a mistress.
Yeah. Of course I'm a mistress.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I made him get two life insurance policies. Of
course I'm a side chick. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was done in Texas.
That's just like literally disgusting.
I was disgusted.
I was disgusted.
I was
too.
disgusted by it.
I was so disgusted.
And the comments did not disappoint.
Oh, really? We'll see.
They didn't disappoint in the sense that like there were a lot of people who were just disgusted that these women actually like could set a camera up
and do that
and actually record this.
Yeah, but I believe it happens. I mean, these bitches are really doing that shit like every day. So yeah, no, like you know a person is married. Like I think that, you know, I never say blame the woman, but you blame the man. But if a woman, speaking of girl code, actively knows that a man is married or in a committed relationship and they go after them anyway, I just think that's dirty work. That's nasty business. Yep. Yeah, I was watching a podcast with this real estate broker in Atlanta, a Black girl, and she's really successful, and she, you know, is big online and social media. And her and her husband, you know, she has a brokerage, and her husband was doing like I think construction, like new construction. I mean, it's just very vocal and like, you know, these people are together. And it came out that she was divorced. Like they were divorced. I mean, nothing happened. I'm totally missing divorce, but when she was posting, it seemed like they were in love and like doing the damn thing. Well, what set off the divorce is the fact that like she got a couple of DMs from people sending pictures of her man's car at another woman's house. And that's what like tipped her off. So you know this woman is married and you allowing this man to come to your house throughout the day to do whatever it is that y'all are doing, knowing goddamn well that this man is married. Yeah. Like I just don't understand that kind of shit. Like that's nasty work. Yeah. But on the flip side of that, the girl code is whoever took those pictures and sent it to the wife. Like, let me show you what your husband is doing. Like that's girl code.
Yeah. So it's a different mindset. Yeah. It's a different mindset when like you're willing to do that. And I think it comes from a place of desperation.
Yeah, of lack.
A place of lack, not moving in an abundance mindset. Yeah. If you can benefit financially, emotionally, physically for this person, I don't think you think about, well, maybe you do, but like the last thing on your mind is probably this man's married.
It's like, how can I get me?
How can I get the most from this situation, regardless of the circumstances? Yeah. So I think, you know, that's something up here. Yeah. That needs to be worked out for sure. But I sense like maybe my algorithm has shifted, so I'm not seeing it as much. But I do sense that like we're moving away from this like Faraina culture and this culture of like fuck Ennas get money, you know? Like I feel like we're moving away from that. I'm not seeing a lot of that. And again, my algorithm just might be clean.
Cause she over there in love land with bunnies and cotton candy.
I'm in home interiors.
I'm over there in the lands of love, child.
Milk and honey.
Milk and honey.
So my algorithm might just be cleaned up a little bit. But listen, if that is the reality and that's still very much happening, that's not going to take you far.
No.
That behavior is that behavior is just not going to take you far, and the universe is going to come back and do its thing.
Speaking of the universe,
hey, bringing it full circle,
or come back
and do its thing. And when you feel like you got something good, it's going to slip right out of your grip because the universe
does what it does. Look at Porsha. Could we go to what's popping?
Let's transition.
Well, let's go to what's popping.
I don't think we've connected since.
No, this is a mess.
Okay.
So Porsha filed for divorce from her husband, Simon. And so at the time, everybody was just like, this is a publicity stunt for the show because she's coming back on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So everybody was like, it's a publicity stunt. But as the weeks have gone by, I mean, drama and cattiness is creeping its way up to the internets and the blogs. And so at first it was him out on a date with this woman that he was posting online because that's what he does. And then he just recently, I believe today, he came out with a statement or a post saying that he had to call the police on her because she showed up to the house with armed guards and that she's unstable. Girl, yes. Like completely trying to paint a picture of her like she is crazy. Now, mind you, when she first filed the divorce, he was just like, I'll stop loving my wife when the divorce is final, which led people to believe like he didn't want that, like he was going to fight for it. But now that I feel like he's accepted it, like the claws are out, honey. I'm not surprised by him because he just seems to be a touched individual. Like he's a narcissist through and through. I truly believe that. But I mean, Porsha did go into this woman's house, made friends with her, and then slid in her man's DMs as soon as it was announced that they had filed for divorce. So is this retribution? Is this the universe doing what the universe does?
Textbook.
I cannot. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. That big ass wedding that they had.
Weddings.
Girl. Them big ass weddings that they had.
And all the Afro beats that she had to learn the words to.
Girl. I just
to be able to dance to them at these weddings.
Like,
listen. We've seen Porsha go from flat-chested, no
she's with Cordell. She was saying that
Cordell,
his beard.
She was just she couldn't put a sentence together.
She thought the Underground Railroad was like actually a railroad.
She was like, where does it stop? Right?
How do you get the tracks underground?
How do I
get the train underground?
Like we have seen Porsha go from literally the black version of Elle from Clueless to where she is today.
Yeah.
And I just think that this is a fall. Like I think a lot of us know that Porsha was probably in the wrong marriage with Cordell. You know, this Dennis
relationship
thing,
with Dennis,
the hot dog man.
Yeah. That was a mess.
None
he
of
don't
us
look serious. Nothing about him looks serious.
Nothing about him looks like he could even pull a Porsha. I mean, that is true to me, true evidence that money will get you anything that you want.
Oh, yeah.
Because Dennis? The hot dog man?
Yes, girl.
But I honestly, I was rooting for her because the way that Dennis did her, I was rooting for her with Simon. I was, even though I shouldn't have been because of the way she got Simon.
Yeah.
After things kind of came out, it was like, oh, so you really went into this woman's house and slid into this man's DMs.
Because when you're in my house, there's no sliding into my man's, even if it's my ex. Like, you're not sliding into my ex's DMs. Like, stop that.
And women, this is why not all women are your friends. I know we've talked about girl code, but not every woman is a friend because you can't bring every woman around you.
You can't bring every woman in your house.
You can't.
I always say that.
You cannot.
Always say that.
You cannot because listen,
you just don't know what a person's motive is.
Trash, it might be another woman's treasure.
Yeah. Right? So women might be looking at what you had, but that's what she was doing, looking at what Fallon had and the life that she was living, and was just like, yeah, I gotta take this Nigerian businessman and blah blah blah. Baby, that man is crazy. That is evident, like evident. So, but yeah,
Porsha.
That was, yeah. I think that is definitely textbook karma coming around,
and
sooner than probably what the ex-wife thought anticipated, absolutely. But definitely karma.
Fallon got her look back.
Oh, did she got her. I know that is so satisfying. Like I feel like secondhand satisfaction for her.
Gosh,
like that has to be so
fulfilling,
liberating. Yeah, like see, I was not crazy, right? Like. You got now the whole world sees that like I wasn't the problem, wasn't the issue, even though she got her own issues.
She does.
It's like I wasn't crazy.
Right. So the other thing, breaking news, which is why I kind of went to my phone. Diddy's house got raided in LA. What the fuck? And then his
plane,
his jet got tracked to Antigua. And apparently the jet is called Love Air LLC. The fuck? But it's grounded.
I bet it is.
It's grounded in Anguilla while the raids on his U.S. homes plural, are happening. We don't know if he's on board those planes. We don't know. But why the plane is in Antigua is odd.
Why? He's on vacation.
But they don't know if he's there. The plane is there.
The plane, okay.
There's no sightings of him.
No sighting. Okay.
Hopefully he's not trying to turn into a refugee or a fugitive. A fugitive, that's the word. Hopefully this isn't like Jeffrey Epstein in the sense that like he's going to his private whatever island or home on an island. But Diddy, talk about the universe. What goes around comes around. His sons, they have them photographed in handcuffs.
In handcuffs. Oh my God.
This is some serious shit. This isn't just like, I like to freak off. This is some serious shit.
Who put the U.S. Marshals on you? Like, how does that even happen? Like,
you sound like very rich people problems.
But I'm just saying, like, the local police is one thing, but to have like the federal government come after you and raid your shit, like how? Well, what would have to happen for that to happen?
Anything outside of, so like if we're talking New York, California, Miami.
But somebody would have to launch an investigation. Like, would somebody have to make a complaint, and then like the Department of Justice decides like.
So if the allegations, let's just say the second round of allegations that came out from this guy are true, and they choose that they want to actually take the case and investigate it. If there was anything in that, and I'm no lawyer, but I would imagine that if there was anything in that suggested that activity was happening in different parts of the country and or different parts of the world, it no longer becomes a local case. It becomes a federal case.
Okay, so it would be passed along to like but can't they choose and decide what cases they take and not take? Like, how do they decide?
If there's validity, then
you think that there's validity and like
what was smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, so they're trying to see what they can get out of these raids.
Right.
Wow.
Or there are crimes that have been committed, or charges that would be federal crimes versus state crimes.
Wow.
And so the feds are involved.
I know this is like the third time that we've talked about Diddy, but it really is like we're watching a complete and total fall from grace. And like there was something that came out maybe like a year ago where his first baby mom's like Christian's mom, Christian's mom. And he was arrested for a DWI, like a DUI. And when he was arrested, like she came out and it was just like, I'm tired of staying silent. Like, you know, the head kind of basically leads or like cultivates the behavior for like the rest of the family. Like if the head is like fucked up and doing like crazy shit, then the rest of the family will too. But she was just like, not my son. Like I will not let my son fall into like that, you know, I guess
down that same path.
Yeah, like that rabbit hole. And so so it was interesting to see that like his sons are in handcuffs. Like now they're caught up in that mess. And it's just like, you know, beware. Like who you are as a person, particularly like as a man who's supposed to be a leader in the head. If you make bad decisions, those decisions can impact your family, your children. You know, a lot of the times like men just make the decisions for themselves, like they're selfish, not realizing the implications of their decision making. And although you think you're able to get away with some stuff, sometimes you don't pay the price. Sometimes your family pays the price for your bad behavior. And I don't know, it's really disgusting to see the fact that his sons are caught up in that. It's disgusting to know that like his children, his twins can't go to school. Yeah. Or can't go online without reading something, you know, about their dad. Like, I just wonder how that is for them in their mental state, you know, like it's really sad to see his fall from grace.
It is sad. I mean, that's the only emotion I can really attribute.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad.
Yeah.
Like, this could have, Diddy's legacy could have gone without this. These charges, these incidents. But I think if any of this is true, which I feel very strongly that it is, because you don't pay no $30 million to Cassandra Ventura.
So what is I'm still thinking about what's illegal? You said trafficking.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he was trafficking as an example, right? Like sex trafficking.
Is that what they're checking for? What are the feds checking for right now?
Oh, I don't know what they're checking for. They're just they've gone into the house and they've raided it and they're seizing evidence.
For of what though? Like I wonder what was the illegal part? Like is it underage people?
Possibly.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the Epstein shit, yeah.
That'll all come out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, if it's trafficking, if it's trafficking of people, trafficking of drugs, I mean, it could be taxes. I mean, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
I don't know these level of rich people problems.
Yeah.
But
I was watching a documentary last night, actually. It's like the I forgot the name of it, but it talks about like the like sexual exploitation, overall exploitation of children, like on Nickelodeon. Yeah. Then we were coming up watching all those damn shows, like those children were being
touched.
Yes, abused. And I'm like, these people in Hollywood are crazy. Listen. Like, don't aspire to do that shit. Like, I would imagine they are so
traumatized.
Crazy.
Look at that guy, like, Orlando. His last name is escaping me, but he was on like
Brown,
Orlando Brown. He was on I'm So Raven, which is a Disney show, and shit, they had him on the side of 59. Yeah, somebody pulled over
Maya Campbell, the other one.
Yeah, beautiful
from, Maya Campbell. Not the class. No, she was on that show with LL Cool J.
Yes, just completely. You know. So listen. I will always tell my kids, let academics be the thing that, gets you success, because this industry is rife with, if we didn't know it with Harvey Weinstein, we're seeing it with Diddy, and there are thousands of others, right, that have done wrong by children and wrong by adults and
men and women,
females and males, right?
Girl, so it's just a mess.
It's not all that it's cracked up to be.
They're probably shaking in the boots, child. I'm sure Hollywood is up on its upside down on his head right now. Those damn figureheads, baby.
Got to be. Anywho, I didn't really have a what's poppin' other than Diddy.
That's it. Let's close it, girl. We have done a whole show to say that we came in here
on
like
a wing and a prayer.
On a wing and a hope and a prayer, child.
Wing and a prayer. So you know where to follow us. ChampagneWives at Instagram.com. We will be at R&B in the Park. If you have tickets, be sure to check us out. You're gonna see us in VIP, of course, on stage, doing the first toast. We're super excited about it.
Yeah. We have some giveaways, some prizes,
champagne. We got the things. Yeah. And listen, shout out also to just the people who are engaging with us, who are sending us messages, showing support. We're going to figure out a way to like hold space for some of the questions and to connect. We have some great questions that have come from folks in the audience that follow us on the various platforms around episode topics. And as we wrap up this season and start planning for next season, we're really excited to integrate those conversations into the season. So keep the feedback coming. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we'll see you next week.
Same time, same place. Bye, y'all.